Good afternoon. Welcome to SM Live, Livestream Friday, show number 22. It's great to have you with us this afternoon. My name's Chris Stott, so good to see you. For those of you that are joining live, and if you're watching it back on our YouTube channel, hi, how you doing? All the live streams are available on here, so don't forget to subscribe, please. Click the subscribe button if you haven't done so already, so you get access to all this content. Howard is with me. Howard, how you doing? Another busy week?
Yeah, really busy. I've got a little bit of a feedback in my headphones, so you might have to give me a few minutes.
No problem. I'll try and sort that out for you. We said it was all going too smoothly. So today is an exciting one. Today we've got the first series of our top tips. This we're running through the month of September. So Annette is moderating. So Annette is going to be putting if you put your questions through on the live chat on YouTube, Annette will then put them through to us on the screen, and then we can talk through those just to make sure we're answering all your points. But yeah, we've got some Howard, you've got some specific tips for us today, I think, haven't you? Going to be an exciting one.
Yeah, I've been through a bit of a list, actually, some really top tips for using the search function in SalesMaster.
Brilliant.
Hopefully some really good ones that people may not have seen before or noticed in the system. So yeah, I think that'd be really useful.
And I think it's important, actually, even if you've been using SalesMaster for years, there's always something new to learn. And I think we had a couple on a go live recently where experienced users that had moved into a different dealer group and sort of caught the live stream and some of the new features that we were sharing. And it was we're really impressed in terms of how to just do some things quicker. So this is designed to be a sharing top tips for you all to benefit from.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, there's always something new to learn in SalesMaster. So yeah, hopefully this is going to cover some of them.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, for those of you that haven't done so already, you can, as I say, if you join, I think you have to log in to YouTube either with a Gmail or a Google login or a YouTube account, and then you can ask questions directly, and Annette will put them through to us, as I've said. Don't forget to subscribe. It'd be great. We've had a good increase in subscribers over the last few sessions, so we'd like to see more of that. It's great to get the engagement and spread the news across the user base. So, okay, well, let's crack on then, Howard. If you want to get your screen ready, that'd be cool. And we'll start off with tip number 1.
Hopefully you've got me.
I've got you, yes.
Excellent. Okay, so we, as mentioned, we're not going to go through too many of the functions in the application. We're going to go straight into the search function and how, and we're only going to use a couple of different areas of SalesMaster today to really home in on just those specific areas, as I mentioned. So, using the search for vehicles and search builder as well. So we're probably just going to be in those two components and try and stay within them two only. And one bit that we do show on lots of the live streams and when we're doing the training is around the helpers that we've added into SalesMaster. But we don't touch on them a great deal. That tends to be when we're looking for colours. So, if we're looking for a black car, for instance, you can see as I start to type that in, you've got a selection there where you can just select I just want to see the color rather than seeing looking for that word, because you'll get multiple searches by doing that, because as you can see on some of these Audis at the top here, the black edition does exist. So if I just typed in black and pressed enter, that would just leave those vehicles there even though I'm actually just looking for the color. But then if I do that and select the color, you can see it will just drill down onto the color itself. So we're going to look at a bit of that, but what I'm going to just try and show is just some of the helpers that we do have in there. So it's not just colors, it's not just statuses of vehicles. We have the cap ID. So has the vehicles got cap ID applied to them, which is really useful when you start to build reports and workflows to be able to see vehicles that are maybe not containing information that you require. And then at the point that they do, obviously, then they will just move on to out of that search, because it's just looking at that specific search at that time. So yeah, really useful. Adoption date or adopted date, has the vehicle adopted? Really, really useful key bits of information that people on the ground really want to get an idea of and be able to see them at a really quick kind of just selection. So all I've done there is just started to type in A, and it's just looked for that letter. So you can see there's just a long list of different helpers that we've added into the system. It's been a while since we've added any in, which probably tells us that we've covered most bases. But obviously anyone out there that does have any that they would like to see, then please let us know. I think even some of the if I look for the days in stock, I can look for ranges of days in stock in there as well. So just to select, actually just show me the vehicles that are between a certain range. It's just looking now between 0 and 89. Now I can do this in Search Builder, but I've got that access to that just as a search helper as well. I said I wasn't going to go anywhere else, but I'm just going to just drop into Column Chooser and bring in days in stock, just so actually I think it might already. Oh, it's already in there. So there you go. You can just gives you a bit of qualification that actually I'm just looking at vehicles between that range. Like so.
Did I see
that's working?
I saw some helpers with the model range in there before. I think not in all accounts, but in some manufacturers, I think we can also categorise by model. I'm not sure if we've got it in these ones, but in a couple of go lives recently, so where we get that on the OEM feed.
Yeah, I think we did some of that from a Mercedes perspective, where we did that as a model helper as well.
And Jaguar Land Rover, right. I think it was Land Rover in particular. I think I saw where
there was the Land Rover vehicles as well. Just to be able to because far easier rather than just typing a long text search of a model description, just to be able to just drill down straight into those specific vehicles. So they just really, really help, especially when you're using text search. That you just want to home down to a certain criteria, really useful for that. The other one was looking a bit more of the negative searching as well. Always a real common one for me is to just say the minus sold.
Is this tip 2, is it?
This is tip 2.
Okay, we really need something that says that, I suppose, don't we? This is
maybe put
or make it clear for a net,
Yeah.
So we have a bit of a time stamp on that. So yes, this is tip 2.
Yeah. So sorry, Annette. Next one I will do tip 3. Just being able to do negative searching, and I always do it on either colour. Or obviously removing the sold vehicles as well. But it's great to remember that it works on any attribute or any text search that you're putting into the system. So, I see them used more frequently than I tend to do when we're doing the training or the sessions. I've just stuck in a minus 25 there just because I was looking, and if I just take that back out, just because I was looking at that model, and I just wanted to take it out of the search. So just minus 25, minus certain options that may be on some of these vehicles as well. So if I didn't want the toolkit, for instance, it will just take these out for me each time I do that. I can open up that and show you that that's worked as well. Like so obviously a really common one is to minus out a color. Just not looking for any of the red vehicles, for instance, it'll just take them away. So, did quite a few demonstrations this week, and this was a really hot topic for them. They really enjoyed how they could, how quickly and simply you could just get down to a specific inquiry or a specific vehicle set that you were trying to find. I just wanted to touch a bit more on minus. Obviously, that works on sites as well. So if you wanted to any attribute, as I mentioned, but if you wanted to remove a site out of the view or multiple sites, you can do that in the same way as such.
That's good. It's an easy, quick way of filtering the list in reverse, isn't it? I guess so. Removing stuff. So yeah. So and obviously doing that. Okay, so tip number 3. So that's negative searching. Obviously, if you've got access to SalesMaster, always recommend that you have a play around with that. Just always bear in mind that you're logged in as yourself, so it's always just your access that you're working for you. You're not causing anything going on in anyone else's view of the data at that time as well. So you can't break it.
And then it was the searching. I mentioned this occasionally on some of our sessions where you can search for VIN numbers or chassis numbers or ord numbers, but you can actually do that on just a few of the digits as well. So it doesn't have to be is it called Suffix search or Suffix search, where you can just actually take just a small part of that chassis number. Or VIN number in this case.
Yeah, quite often people are using key at the end of the VIN, the last 6 digits or the last 3 letters of a reg number or something. Obviously, it's not going to. You could have the scenario where you're getting duplicates, but it's usually it's down to an individual vehicle. So have you got one of those in an example? Have you?
Well, yeah. If I've just copied one straight out of the chassis number, so or VIN number, so you can see there. As soon as I've put in 38640, it takes me down just to that single vehicle. Yeah. So I can't remember how many we had on there. 31,000 vehicles. Yeah. It just drills down that quick, just to find that specific those specific numbers of that. But if I just looked exactly as you mentioned, Chris, if I look for without the 3 and I've just gone 8640, so the last 4 digits, you can see it still finds that specific vehicle, but it's also pulled through a couple of another 3 vehicles that would have that somewhere within them as well. There you go. You can see it on the Golf. You've got 8640, and I could probably there you go. So you can see where it's picking that up. But that's the same with the com number or the order number, and as you mentioned, the same as the reg number. Unfortunately, I don't think I've got any used cars in here. I'm just looking at new stock. But same.
Well, I guess if you had a physical vehicle in the showroom in front of you, or on the forecourt with a used vehicle, you could look like the VIN number's usually on the windscreen, isn't it, lower corner? So to be able to grab the last few digits of that and find that exact record on SalesMaster to get the background info on that exact car that you've got in the showroom. Just get you straight down to it. And of course, if they're in the showroom, they will obviously be in SalesMaster as well, because we're taking them all the way from the start of their build, let alone when they're obviously on site. So you can see lots of different kind of updates or statuses of those vehicles where we currently are as well. That's a good one. Yeah, like that.
Yeah, really good. So tip number 4, I think we're on to. Multi-searching. So this is where we're using the OR. And again, this is something that I normally demonstrate, or we demonstrate on colour. So, if we're looking for a certain colour, we use the OR. And then put that in as a code, so it just looks for that colour. Again, another one that really went down extremely well this week on a demonstration that I was doing, where they, being able to do this and just looking for certain options or certain colours or certain descriptions. So I normally do that on colours, but you can do that on anything. So if I look for Polo or Golf, for instance, it will just show me those cars. Like so, I'm going to minus the sold, so you can see it's just nice. We'll see some Polos in there at some point, but lots of Golfs. Actually, I wonder if I switch that around. There you go. So you can see it'll just drill down and just show me those. So that can be a requirement. Because what you don't want to be doing is kind of sitting with a customer potentially or an inquiry and drilling down into Polo, and then obviously you want to come back. So actually let's do a little bit of that. So if we look for Polo United, I'm just choosing the ones at the top actually, just to make it straightforward. Then once you kind of down to that point, actually to do look for a Golf now, you're not going to find one because you're contradicting what you're looking for. But if that is your starting point of the search, that can be the bit where you start from, and then you can just keep going down. So again, using the model helpers as well, or the helpers, and say actually I'm just looking for all the automatic vehicles, because there may be a differential between how it is from a manufacturer perspective. Obviously, if I'm looking for Audi and Volkswagen, it would be DSG. But if I'm looking outside of that and other brands, I want to be able to see everything, especially if I'm using StockBook or SalesMaster from a used car perspective, so the full StockBook product. which tends to be the way most of our retailers do. So yeah, you don't want to exclude anything that you wanted to see in that as well.
Yeah, no, very good.
Cool. So one of our favourite ones is next. So tip number 5 is where we look for the odd numbers or multiples of odd numbers. So we can do that using the same way. So we could put in an odd number or the next odd number, and it will just look for as many as you put in. And in the old days, that's well, probably about 18 months ago, that's how we used to do it. So lots of ors in there, and we used to come out of the system to be able to put them back in. But very fortunately, and a fantastic bit of work from the product team to be able to allow us just to drop those straight into the system. So we're going to go into Search Builder. And what we're going to do is we're going to drop down on the filters, and we're going to look for order number. So again, it's got great text search in the filters, and then we're just going to drop a list of. I've already copied something, so just 1 second. I'm just going to take a list of com numbers, so as many as I can grab there, and I'm just going to paste them straight in. There you go, and then just apply that. You can see all 36 vehicles. It's just found instantly for me.
Yeah, that's one of our favourites, that one, isn't it? I think for highlighting a list of special offers and tagging the vehicles, particularly if you get emailed a spreadsheet of qualifying vehicles, or even just a list in the body of an email, those com numbers, you can copy and paste those in, can't you? So
yeah, well, there you go. Right? Because I'd already copied that VIN number, I had to go out and grab them again. But you can see how quick and simple that is, just to grab a list of those. If they've come through on a spreadsheet or just a list, and you just stick them straight in, and it does all of the kind of OR calculation for you and it just brings it straight up for you. So
yeah, really good.
Really, really useful tip, and useful, especially when there is offers on vehicles. You just want to get down to them really quickly. So I see this used a lot from when there was a campaign on vehicles. They want to find them really quickly. Yeah. But also then just using the kind of checkbox to then add that note or that campaign on top of those vehicles as well. So yeah, really good.
So that's really good when you're using an external source into SalesMaster for sharing that data, because obviously you could now, you've got that in SalesMaster, you could share the search, couldn't you, and send that to one of your colleagues, or you could effectively send the URL, but somebody would have to have SalesMaster access in order for that to work. Whereas this is somebody sending you a list from outside another source, just basic list of vehicle order numbers, and just pasting it in. That's really good.
Yeah, you almost pushed me into save views there.
I nearly did. Yeah.
Yeah, you almost got me to save the search. But we've seen that before. Obviously, that's how we can just record that and push it out to our team as well.
Yeah, cool. That's a good one.
Okay, so I think we're on to 6.
Yeah, I think we are, yeah.
Thank you. Should have numbered them. Okay, so this is again, I'm just going to jump into here and bring in a header. I know I said I'd stay out of anything other than Search Builder, but it's obviously a really good way of being able to see it. So when I do that search, you can see that it works and how it calculates. So here I've brought in a vehicle completeness. I'm just going to move that slightly so it's a bit closer in my screen. But you can see I've got a completeness of a vehicle. Where we were doing some work on this yesterday. Really useful way of seeing what vehicles are, contain all the relevant taxonomy or information on them to be able to share. So something we did there. So you can see these 7 attributes. When I hover over the 100%, it looks like a minus 100%, but it's not. It means it's 100% complete, as you can see there with all the ticks on it as well. Now I can sort that round, so you can see I've got some vehicles that are actually a lot earlier on. So they are missing information because they were at their build process or their build stage. So they're just showing a lesser amount. But obviously, as they move through that chain and we get more information on that vehicle and we start to enhance it from a SalesMaster perspective. Obviously, the goal is to get those vehicles back or up to 100% to be able to, use in the showroom, but also feed out to multiple media channels as well. So using Search Builder again, I can actually find the vehicle completeness as a percentage, as a header, and I can look for a range. So I can look between, show me all my vehicles between 70 and 100%, or I could say, actually, just show me my vehicles that are less than a certain number, or I could go more. So actually, show me everything that's more than 99%. So that will show out of that sort of 17. There you go. So it barely dropped there. It probably dropped about 300 vehicles. But as I mentioned, those 300 vehicles that it dropped out were the ones that are, not even being started built yet, or being built. So they, we wouldn't expect them to be at that level. But that's now showing all the vehicles that are more than 99%. So,
and I think there's a high score across the platform, isn't there? It is like high. It's in the mid to high 90s of coverage across the platform with all brands, isn't it? In terms of completeness, so you can use that to, as you say, for publishing in other sources, or you can use it simply to help identify the car to match it with other sources as well. So it's quite a key indicator for online retailing. So. No, it's really useful and a really good way of people being able to look at their vehicles live in SalesMaster to see what's ready to go within that as well. Again, it's exactly as I'd expect the data to look within that as well. Yeah, that's very good. Well, before we get to the next one, we've had a question actually. So this is a question from Amanda. So Amanda has said, "Hi, I'm from Mercedes and I have a question about marking cars when you get to it, please." So absolutely.
Okay.
So I think we've got that question coming in. No, I'll just, Annette, if you can see the question, then just put it through to us and we'll take that one. But thanks, Amanda, for getting involved.
Yeah, I don't mind jumping straight into that. Unfortunately, Amanda, from Amanda's perspective, I don't have any Mercedes in this environment. But I thought I did. It's probably my settings, but it works the same way regardless. So I guess that was putting a vehicle to under negotiation or sold, I'd imagine.
Yeah, Amanda, if you can just let us know what your question is on that would be absolutely great, and we'll do that. I've got some, actually, if we go split screen, I've got some Mercedes stock on here on the StockBook account, actually. So, we should better do that. And then, when you're ready to send it through, please do. Yeah, cool. And Howard, do you want to we'll carry on to the next tip. So tip number 7, is that? I think you missed out one, Chris. Actually. You missed out.
Did I?
Yeah. Yeah, you missed out CO2.
Yes, I did. Yeah. Yes. Okay, so we go. This is tip number 7 now, and we're going straight back into Search Builder, and then we're going to drop on our filters, and this time we're going to have a look at CO2. So again, something that's really active and that relevant for any inquiry that's coming through. That you want to be able to view. So again, I'm going to go and grab it from my column chooser, like so. So now I've brought the CO2 in there. Obviously, I can sort that ascending and descending. Again, if you notice when I did that, the vehicles that are at ordered status haven't yet had that CO2 applied. That's quite a useful way of looking at that. I'm going to minus the sold again, and this time I'm going to use Search Builder, and I'm going to go. Now I can go for a range, or I could say, actually, just show me my vehicles that have got a CO2 value less than 100, for instance. And there you go. You can see that will just pull those vehicles through. I've got that the right way round. There's some zeros there, obviously, from an electric perspective, but there you go. So you can see really straightforward way of doing that, just to have a look at that stock.
Nice one, yeah.
And then of course I can jump to save views and do that from there as well.
Well, I've got an enhancement to that top tip, actually. So If we did that make it 7.5 or top? Let's call it it's top tip 8. So
go for 8.
If you do CO2, just type in CO2 and then do less than symbol and type in 100. So
right, okay,
you can do it without even opening Search Builder.
Yeah, I can put that in like that.
There you go.
And it will just show me those. Yeah.
So yeah, that's my contribution to that.
That's really good. That's really good. I'm just going to do that again, actually.
Yeah, because you did 02, I think. That's it.
Yeah, I think I did.
That's more than. Now you're going to get... There you go. But its
go.
numbers changed.
Yeah, it worked.
There you go.
Right, just for this, just for you, I'm going to do it again.
Yeah.
There you go. I contradicted myself. There you go.
Sorted. Brilliant. Okay.
So you could do that if you want to be whizzy like Chris, or you could use Search Builder just to let the system build it for you.
Right, we've had Amanda's question now, so let's look at that.
Excellent.
So when we use the new function, sold awaiting processing, is there any way to see the car once it has disappeared?
Depending on the rules. So once a vehicle goes to that level, so from a Mercedes perspective, if they're sharing stock out to the network, which I believe this is the case, that once it goes to that sold point, it does come away from the system. But there is obviously a conversation there we can have with Mercedes directly to be
a permissions piece.
Yeah. So it's a permission setting. So once a vehicle, because we're sharing stock and the rules on sharing stock do exclude sold vehicles. So it's basically only looking for vehicles that are available to share.
Got it.
Obviously, those sold awaiting processing or sold vehicles do still exist in the centralized account, but not from a shared account.
Makes sense. Okay. Well, hopefully that's answered your question, Amanda, and please, get in touch with support if we can help with that. But yeah, it does sound like it's a permission thing. We need to obviously go through that as part of the configuration. So we've had another question as well, actually, this time from Joey. So Joe from PDI, when you edit the delivery details of a vehicle, how do you go straight back to the same vehicle page? So once you've gone in to vehicle edit to then go, how do you go back to vehicle show? So this you could probably use the recent, so on the overlay on the menu, or I think does vehicle edit close once you've closed it down?
Yeah, so if I went into vehicle edit, which like so, and then if I save, it does jump back.
Yeah.
But obviously, if I close, it just goes back to vehicle. It takes you back to the same place actually, whether or not you save or close that loop.
But a good tip,
take you back.
Another good tip that's sort of very close to that, Joe, would be the recents on the navigation bar on the menu. So you can just hover over the vehicles part of the menu, and it will always come up with the last few that you were in. So if for any reason the way that's working with vehicle edit is it's closing down and you weren't sure what vehicle you're on, just go roll over the vehicles search and it should show you that on there. But thanks for getting involved, and please get in touch if you've got anything else on that, or go via support if there's an issue with what you're trying to do. So thank you for those questions. Okay, so we're on tip number 9. I think.
Well, it's 9 really, because we can't have 7.5. So exactly. We're going to go 9. We're going to go 9. Yeah. Okay. So what we're going to look at here is vehicles that are. Do you know what? We may even be able to get to 10. I'm going to do a slightly different one.
Well, have you thought of another one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So what I'm going to do on the fly, actually, some brands we get what we call the estimated delivery date for.
Oh yeah.
Like so. So you can see now, I'm just looking at the Jags, I'm just looking at the estimated delivery dates, so I can sort that ascending and descending again.
Yep.
So I can see this vehicle is due to land. I'm not going to take out the sold vehicles because this is quite useful, because you've actually got vehicles that are, this is dummy data, so don't, obviously it can be a bit randomized. But if I was a sales exec looking for a vehicle in my StockBook environment that was a sold vehicle that I had sold, I wanted to update the customer, I obviously then can bring that in as a estimated delivery date to be able to update them from there as well. Obviously that's entirely your choice, your recommend to review before obviously updating, but that's what we're being told from the data that we're receiving. So quite a really useful way. But you can also do that by actually on Search Builder, again by looking for estimated delivery date, but you can do that as a date range, or you could say actually just show me the vehicles that are due to come in this month. Now this is only going to show me those 3, I believe, at the top. There you go. So yeah. But in real life, actually, it's probably about right now. But
yeah, sadly, it is probably. But building those views for quarter 4, or a particular when this is where you've got that sort of lens on the data that's coming through in the pipeline to be able to get ahead of the curve as the production starts ramping up again. So to be able to see it that's deliverable in that month, quarter, or whatever period. Yes.
So it does similarly take us on to our top tip 10 actually, because we're going to be looking at deliverable this month. But that's a really good way if you've got that estimated delivery date within the data that's being fed, which we do for a number of brands that we work with. It can be searched in the same way.
Yeah.
Or you can be whizzy like Chris and type it all in if you want to.
Yeah, perhaps doesn't work with that one so much, but when it's a short one, it's shorthand version. Yeah. Go on then. What's top tip 10, the final one?
Top tip 10. Am I running out of time?
No, you're all right. But I thought we were only going to do 10, so we'll save some more for next week.
Yes, definitely. Have another session. Okay, so this is just I'm just picking on Audi for this purpose. Obviously, I can bring in some really cool, funky headers into this. So I can look at build weeks. I can bring lots of different bits of information in there. We know these are a really early status. In this case, even that one there hasn't even been given a build state or build code yet. But what you can do is you can use that from a kind of vehicle status perspective and say you can do it by code, or you could say actually just show me my vehicles that are at the storage center. Obviously these are all translated based on your so if it was Amanda from Mercedes, you'd be looking at the likes of GB destination and on site. But if you're looking at the storage center or vehicles that are on site, you can do multiple selections like so, and that would bring them all in like that. Or you could actually, another one we use is the status code. So because we know the way the codes work, and anyone working in these brands will know these. If I wanted to see anything that was on site from a sort of a Volkswagen Group perspective, I'd probably go with show me everything that's more than status code 38 and just apply that. And then save that, because that will dynamically update for me all the time as well. So it'll always show me what's deliverable now or sellable within the next week or two.
Brilliant.
Did I do that quick enough?
You did. That was good.
Thanks.
and in half an hour, I think. So yeah, it's
brilliant,
perfect time. So, but no, thank you for doing that. That was excellent, Howard, and sharing those tips.
No problem.
And thanks for getting involved. Great to hear from Amanda and Joe. So that's thank you for joining in and the questions. So, in fact, I think Annette is also. I think we're able to do so. We're going to do a thing now actually on the best question. So I think that's probably got to be Amanda actually this week. So Amanda, will give you a SalesMaster water bottle, I think, for that. So Annette's just going to sort that out. So we've got these SalesMaster. I think you can perhaps just see it there. It'll focus on. So Amanda, that could be over to you. So thanks for joining in. And if you email your details into support@salesmaster.co.uk, we'll get one of those off to you. And Joe, give us another question next week, and please spread the word and get people to get involved, because it's great to make these sessions a bit more interactive. So it's great to have you with us, and please spread the word and try and, if you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel and let people know about SalesMaster on YouTube. Fab. Okay, great. I think that's it for today then, Howard, isn't it?
That's it. Happy Friday.
Yeah. Have great weekends, everybody. If you just, as I say, send your details into support for any info you need to, and then we will we'll be in touch and see you on the next one, probably this time next week. Howard, I think we've got another show on next Friday. So
yes, we have. Same time. Next top tips on slightly different areas, and I'll probably come up with 10 again.
Fantastic. Well,
try.
Amanda's sent another question already, I think. So we'll have to say, I think we're going to save that one for next week now. You've won the water bottle already. So, but no, thanks very much for joining in, and we'll see you on the next one. All the best. Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye.